Hello, welcome. Episode 5. Some more red flags, some more reviews of sports from this week. See how you feeling? How was the weekend?
Man, as a United fan, I can only thank God. But yeah, I'm feeling good. Feeling good about this episode.
Okay.
So I guess we
Since
can
you're already
just we can get right
oh, you're
into
talking
it,
about your United.
bruh. Like it's not every weekend that we win. Come on, like this is good for me. Anyway, so just jump straight into Premier League week 8 recap. Um, just a quick run through. Spurs started off the weekend with a win against West Ham. Fulham lost to Aston Villa. My boys beat Brentford, thank God. Um, yeah, Brighton beat Newcastle away. Leicester came back and beat Southampton. Everton beat Ipswich. Ipswich and lurching around relegation zone was story for another day. Yo, I got this graphic wrong. Bournemouth actually beat Arsenal 2-0. Right. Well, moving on. Man City controversial win against Wolves, and yes, supposed game of the week. Liverpool beat Chelsea 2-1. Yeah, it wasn't that great a watch for me, but the Bagbele in me was very happy that Jadon Sancho was hooked off at halftime because he had the stinker of the first half. Obligation to buy is not really my problem anymore. That's Chelsea fans' problem. Yeah, I don't know. Yimika, did you watch the game? What did you think?
Yeah, I can yeah, I watched the game, but like I fell asleep half like twice.
Oh my
First
god.
half and then after the like flurry in the second half where they both scored 1-1. I mean Chelsea equalized and then Liverpool, the man in the
Yeah.
middle, Curtis
I,
Jones
I, yeah,
scored.
Curtis Jones. I thought Jackson's goal was good though. I
Yeah,
mean,
I mean Jackson definitely showed himself. He was playing well, holding up the play pretty well, and really trying to get his team up. He didn't get yanked off when you would have thought so. I think Nkunku came on, and it was actually Madueke that came off. So he's
yeah.
definitely solidifying himself as a key player.
Every week
Um,
making Mikel eat his words, I guess.
Alba wasn't actually that like influential, which was kind of interesting. Um,
Yeah.
but yeah, I think I mean, the Chelsea coach is doing well, but I mean, I was praising how well he's doing in terms of rotating the squad, but I thought it was weird how he took off Latvia in the start of the second half, especially when once they had scored. Um, I mean, maybe he was seeing something in terms of their defense, which everybody has pointed out as Chelsea's biggest flaw. But yeah, I don't know. They have too many players, but he's managing to get the best out of everybody. And part of having many options is that if somebody is not performing like Sancho, those on need to. And he didn't do much more, but he added a little bit more dynamism to the game. So that's where I'm saying like he's doing well as a coach, just using what he has as his options and yeah, continue to push through.
Yeah.
Altogether,
Fair fair enough.
bad week in football, not gonna lie. I mean, obviously,
Yeah,
like
quite
I'm a
boring.
little bit salty my team lost, but I don't think that was what it was. It was just a bad just bad energy. Like we'll talk a little bit more about why that energy is bad, but
Yeah.
um
Okay, so let me just jump to United's game real quick before we go to Arsenal and go to the next segment. For United, I felt it was good, right? I mean, we didn't play well the whole game, but I thought we did well in patches. Had a lot of chances in the first half. That yeah, I mean, half chances here and there, unnecessary shots here and there. But yeah, I think after all the noise, Ten Hag's future, I think we'll just be taking it game by game at this point. Like Ineos have clearly decided, yeah, we're giving this guy the chance to see if he can turn it around, right? Before making any decision. So I mean it was good to see the fullbacks are no longer being inverted, thank God. Right. But yeah, good win. good win. It was against Brentford. We're not getting ahead of ourselves. We'll see where we go from there. And then to Arsenal. Hmm. So I'm just going to say it like it's my personal opinion. I don't have any hard facts to back me up, but I don't think you guys are going to win the league if you keep getting these red cards. Like, so I found it interesting that, yeah, the decisions, okay, the red card, sketchy, but I thought, yeah, okay, fair enough, red card, right? But the penalty as well, I felt, yeah, definitely a pen, right? I didn't think it was the ref that swung the game to Bournemouth, right? Like, they played you guys. You guys like could have scored, didn't score. They took their chances, right? And yeah, I didn't think your people played particularly well. I think Sterling, you guys should send that guy back in January if you can.
No,
That guy didn't go.
100%. I mean,
But I'll let you
again,
go.
I don't think it was. I mean, we're going to talk a little bit about the rest later on, but I don't think that was the key decider. Like you said, there was Brentford. They're tough to play. They press high. Their pitch is small, so obviously it was going to be competitive with Saka not there and Odegaard not there. But
Exactly.
I mean, we're the ones that sort of put ourselves in the situation. Trossard's sort of missed kick pass and
Exactly.
very lazy. But realistically, again, my take about the refs is not really about swinging the games or not. My whole thing is just more about every single week we watch Prem. These are like the best, supposed to be the best football in the world, but we have the worst referees in the world, is how I see it. So it's like a mismatch of quality of footballing against refereeing. So I don't get why every single week we're always having a review of ref calls and trying to analyze if it was or wasn't. Like again, La Liga in Syria, these are very good leagues, but not as widely broadcasted and viewed. There's not a lot of controversy, like clean and clear, like it's very understood. Like they're very debatable situations, but in the Prem, it's always just across board, like crazy rules that bring a lot of reps being involved in the game. Like a referee is supposed to be an unnamed individual wearing black, like blend in. Like we don't need to do you or know what you're doing. Um, so there were key there are about three incidents that I just wanted to quickly highlight um across the weekend, which again is just a short sample size. If you start looking across the whole season, then that's where you see a lot of the inconsistency.
Yo, like
So
it's literally a black hole. Like
we start with Paul Anochu,
Onuachu. Onuachu.
Onuachu,
Yeah.
um, versus Jordan Ayew. So this guy was running to sort of like head the ball. Jordan Ayew dragged him literally for like a cool 5 minutes. Obviously, I'm over exaggerating, but he was just holding him like very blatantly. There was no penalty issued, there was no red card issued. The same game, Jamie Vardy is also being pulled by Ryan Fraser on the box, about to score like a chance. It's a tug, but it's not even as obvious in terms of a tug. You have to go to VAR to sort of see it. There was no VAR review for the previous decision. There was no penalty or red card. The second decision, there's a penalty, there's a red card. That, first of all, to me, is just even, I thought the whole rule of the game was to remove that double jeopardy of issuing a penalty and issuing a red card. It's like,
Yeah.
just doesn't make sense. They were now saying it's clear goal scoring opportunity, which is part of like the wider segment. This new rule, clear goal scoring opportunity. Very,
Yeah,
very
I mean,
debatable.
anytime is subjective, right? I believe it always ends up that way once it is subjective.
But my whole thing is like, why create all these like rule definitions that make you do something, but is not within the realm of how football is played, like how it's a physical game, like it leads. for you to interpret how the physicality is sort of executed in that moment. But when you have a rule that is guiding you and saying this is clear cut, you have to do this based on X, Y, Z, then it is like you're trying to judge the game before you see the game. Like there are things that are clear cuts, like offside, which is based on positioning. But things like um yeah, it's just a lot. Anyhow, you have the next one was Evanson and Saliba obviously reacted, pulled him back. That was given a red card. They were talking about clear goal scoring opportunity, 45 yards from the goal. I'm like, come on. Then we turn around Chelsea game. Diego Jota, he's also
Yeah.
about to go. Clear
Tosin,
goal scoring opportunity. Tosin pulls him down. Even more of a tug, yellow card, no situation. So again, for me, it's not about Arsenal being part of this whole mix. It's just the inconsistency or the consistency of inconsistency of these refs. Like you just need to figure out what you're going to call and be consistent on that. Like even now, they've stopped doing this whole delay of games. There were so many delay of the games this past week that they didn't call. But it's like you already interrupted a lot of games earlier this season. Sorry, I might be seeming like I'm ranting, but I don't know. For me, I just feel like it's just stay out of the game. Just stay out of the game.
I've I personally have just accepted it, right? Like it's a part of the game now for me. Like it's just what I've come to expect. I believe
But
it's
but
touched
it's
everybody.
only Prem. It's only Prem. Like that's why I said like you watch Champions League and you don't see any of this. It's only Prem. It's just I think it's just part of this whole like there's
Like
a whole
I mean,
segment every Monday.
see the City goal, right? The City goal against what you call the Wolves at the weekend. Um, they said at the point where Stones heads the ball, Bernardo is not interfering with the keeper. Sorry, what's the whole essence or purpose of Bernardo being where he was, other than to interfere with the keeper? Like you literally see half a second before the ball is headed, he pushes Bernardo away from him, right? Like he pushes Bernardo away from himself and has to try to set himself again. But before he can set himself, the ball is going over his head. Like, but
Yeah,
according
and
to them, he's not interfering. It's just what it is.
the thing about that chance is that Arsenal does a lot of those. Ben White specifically is the guy that we use to do that. But most times Ben White is just standing. He's physically big enough to be an obstacle for somebody else. So if you don't have somebody there to push him away, he's going to obstruct, but not in a manner that is impeding the goalkeeper. Whereas Bernardo was, I mean, he's like 5'5". Like he's obviously using all his energy and force to sort of push the keeper away, which is a clear impediment of the goalkeeper's motion. That's kind of where it's like, it's again, I'm happy at least this one was called by the ref. The ref made a call on the game and then he moved on and watched the replay and still made that same call. So kudos to that one. But it's still here and there.
Fair enough. So I guess by quote unquote popular demand, we can move on to your next power rankings.
Yeah, we come back with another one. Um, we've gone up top, now we're going back. So we have to balance it. We can't all just be attack, attack, attack. Come on, Shay, show us number 5 now. I mean, he's a Spurs guy. Like this is without bias. Like he's just playing pretty well. Obviously, we know him as one of the quickest defenders in the league, but he's added, more dynamism to his game. Wow. um, obviously, Shea knows the goal that he helped assist, but he's definitely a rock for their defense, and he's worth up here being on this list. Let's look at number 4 though. The short guy, he probably would have been ranked a lot higher, but realistically, City's defense hasn't been showing a lot of consistent play. Um, Even with all the guys that they have, Stones, Akanji, Guardiola, like they're
He's
just
probably
always
been the most
shaky.
consistent, at least.
He
That's
is the
maybe
most
for them.
consistent, but it's like Diaz was easily one of the best center backs in the league. Now he's kind of like you can chop and change and you won't really miss him. So
Okay.
this is out of respect. This is out of respect from what he was, not what he's been doing actually.
Oh,
All right,
wahala.
number three, we shall know. We shall know. Obviously, like the top defense is here. You know that both guys are here. Like they guarantee. To me, sometimes, bro, like I really think Gabriel is actually better than Saliba. Like I really think like Gabriel is he has the physicality and also the composure. It's just he's not as good on the ball and as quick as Saliba. But again, that's what the best centre back partnerships. You know, your Vidic, your Ferdinand. He was like Vidic, although Ferdinand was sort of seen as the better defender. So yeah, this is a solid number three for him. Consistent progression. Number two, no, this is not even controversial at all. Come on, like Virgil has been number one for quite some time, and he's still up there. He's still showing his class and everything, but yeah, can't compete with who we know number one is. Like, it, yeah, I mean, come on. We know the Rolls Royce has to be number one. Like, the guy has just consistently, since he landed in Prem, like he showcased himself as a key man. Like that's even why like him getting this red card is trouble for us going to Liverpool. Because we know that when he's in the defense, you don't have to worry. You just don't have to worry. Again, that's why I just don't get why he didn't allow that guy run. Wilson is not quick. He's not anything to worry about. So top five here. I am ready and open to defend all of them. Funny enough, a lot of them are in red, so
Well,
red flags.
I'm going to throw a red flag, and yeah,
Sha not a
decent
Manu
list. I
player.
probably would have picked these same guys, but I will put Van Dijk first and Saliba after him, and I'll swap Van Dijk and Saliba, and I'll swap Diaz and Gabriel. Right, so Gabriel before Diaz third, Saliba second, Van Dijk first. That would be
I
my
think
list.
I,
But yeah,
I think
like
I think again, Gabriel to me is just the most underrated defender in the Prem right now. But it's fine. I know a lot of people see this as like there's like a big gap between him and Saliba, but I really think that without Gabriel, Saliba wouldn't be the player that he is right now. So um fair, fair point. Anyhow, anybody, if you want to
I mean
challenge it
that's why
or you want to add,
people are watching, right? So
if you want to add,
we'll
if
their
we miss
comments.
somebody else that you felt like should be here, or you want to reorder it like she has done, happy to hear your comments and your thoughts. But this is my top five. So what's up?
Not a problem. So guys, please don't forget, drop your drop your flags in the comments, please. Let's hear what you think about Yimika's top five centre backs. And yeah, um moving on from football. Yes, just briefly on basketball, the New York Liberty, congratulations to them, 2024 WNBA champions, and Jonquel Jones was NBA Finals MVP. Average 17.8 points, 7.6 rebounds, and 2.2 assists over the course of the finals. And yeah, Liberty beat the Lynx 3-2 to become 2024 NBA champions. They are first in franchise history. Yeah, the NBA
Congrats.
season will be kicking off officially Tuesday. Right, I don't know what day you'll be watching this, but yeah, Tuesday this week, the NBA will be kicking off, and yeah, we look forward to bringing you more coverage of the NBA as the season progresses.
If our top
Right,
five teams are doing what they should be doing.
well, we'll see. Uh moving on to college football week 8. Um, interesting results from this past weekend. Yeah, South Carolina beat Oklahoma State 5-9. Oregon beat Purdue. Quite unfortunate for a very good friend of mine. Yeah, because he went to Purdue and he still kind of follows them for some reason. Yeah, 35-0. Miami.
Come on, there was nothing going to happen. Nothing but that's going to happen. My boys,
I mean,
man. One one.
I'll let you talk about Miami.
No, it was just a good game. The Hurricanes, it was a shootout. Like obviously, like you see, almost 100 points, which is kind of unheard of for college for football games. I mean, college football they usually are high scoring, but it was really good. Cam Ward, cold, 4 touchdowns,
That guy is
solid play.
balling, by the way. Like, I must say, like, yeah, he's balling. Like, guy
And the thing
is
about
really pouring cold water on the Travis Hunter Heisman convo because the way that guy is balling, nobody is even going to consider Travis Hunter at this point.
yeah, I mean he's the top most touchdowns in FBS this season. Like and a lot of those drives, like they were situations where Louisville was sort of in the ascent, so he had to just sort of shut down the crowd, and they were playing away from home, so it was a tough situation. He had Michael Irvin on the ground, doing his line rolls and stuff like that.
I love that
Um,
guy, man.
but
Playmaker.
yeah, they came out. Louisville played well too. Like I said, it was a very interesting game. Definitely check out the highlights if you have some time.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, number 8 LSU beat Arkansas 34-10. We'll look at Alabama later. My Buffs obviously beat the Arizona beat Arizona 34-7. Yeah, shout out to Shador Sanders. Thank God Travis Hunter was back in the lineup. Yeah, he did his thing on defense mostly. Um, couple receptions on offense, but yeah, no touchdown. But he was more defensive today. I guess everybody is just sort of normalizing and telling you where and why they are going to be drafted in the next NFL drafts, right? So I guess we'll just move on to our focus games for the week in college football. Um, Starting with Alabama. So the Alabama Crimson Tide lost 17-24 against the Tennessee Volunteers. Yimika, do you want to
Yeah,
start
I
us
mean, I
off?
watched this game. It was pretty interesting. The first half was super competitive. Bama came out tough with the lead, and they seemed dominant. They seemed like they were going to really shut down this Tennessee team because they had like a rookie quarterback, or not rookie, like a redshirt quarterback who was struggling to throw the ball and really like command the game. But again, like this Alabama's defense has just sort of is on Alabama-esque. Like one thing about Alabama, like top safeties, cornerbacks in the NFL right now. I mean, they're also strong in terms of offense, but they're always strong on defense. They're linebackers, they're D tackles. They're usually up there in the NFL. This team just doesn't seem like it's as well stacked. And it makes sense because, Nick Saban retired last season. A lot of decommits, a lot of people transferred out because, he's been the
I think it still has
program.
something to do with their recruitment, though.
Yeah, I
I don't
mean,
know.
it's just
I'll have to
not going to
confirm
be
that.
the same. It's just
Yeah,
not
for
going
sure,
to be the same
for sure, for
because
sure.
he's a draw. Him being someone that has gotten a lot of people into the league,
Yeah,
it's a different draw to. It's just a different situation. But yeah, we'll see if they're still able to stick into the playoffs. Jalen Milrow continue to play top, and last he'll get drafted. So yeah, tough. Disappointing loss. Because again, Bama is one of those teams I've been rooting for. I always root for.
well, yeah. So I mean, you've said most of it, but I just think, yeah, I should shout out Dylan Sampson, which I told you about before the game, the running back for Tennessee. For me, he was a main man on the night. 139 yards from 26 carries and he scored 2 touchdowns. Yeah, Miro, 2 picks on the day. Very flat performance. As you said, they don't have the same Bama aura. And yeah, I'm going to cut Killing the Boa some slack because So something interesting that I found out after the game is this is the first time since 2007, which was Nick Saban's first year at Alabama, that they have lost 2 games before November. This is killing the boy's first year, right? I think he can get a pass if the great Nick Saban was like that in his first year. Who is he, right? So that's it for me. I guess enough said on that game, and we can move on to the Georgia game. Yep. So the Georgia Bulldogs defeated the Texas Longhorns 30-15 in Texas. Yimika, you want to start? Or
Yeah, I mean, I didn't watch as much of this game. Um, Actually, I did. Sorry, I'm lying. I watched sort of like the first half, the end of the first half,
yeah,
leading into like the third quarter, and by the third quarter, I knew the game was over. Like Texas was trying to do a little comeback, but honestly, like the Bulldogs defense was just back to what it was. Those guys were not allowing Texas like come up with any play. Like I think their quarterback was benched for a little bit. They brought in
yeah. At the
the
end of the first half,
Archie Manning. He had a little run out, didn't make much progress, and they brought him back in. I don't know, like the Georgia, and again, this is why Alabama's loss, 2 losses after beating Georgia has just been painful because for them to have beat, sorry, Alabama's loss 2 losses after beating Georgia has been hurtful because after beating Georgia, that really and truly was the main obstacle in the SEC. So it's just anyhow, Georgia has all they need to do to go all the way to the finals, playoff finals. So let's see what they're able to do.
yeah. um, for me, I I wasn't really surprised that Georgia won the game. To be fair, this is what I was alluding to earlier about certain quarterbacks that are being touted as top QB prospects for the next draft might want to consider one more year in college before entering that draft because I don't know. This Queen US guy for Texas, like,
Does he have
yeah,
more years of eligibility?
I think he might. There's no.
With Archie
I
breathing on
think
his
he might.
back, like the guy
I
just
think he
wants to
might.
go.
I didn't think his O line helped him. To be fair, in patches of the
That's
game, they
that's the
sort of
Georgia defense,
they
though.
sort of came to life. Sort of came to life in the second half when they tried with their rally and everything. But I don't know. I don't know. Maybe
Was There was actually a very interesting play, like where um I think was it a pick or like there was a situation where they started throwing bottles onto the field, and
yeah.
basically it was a
When the guy intercepted Carson Beck, right?
yeah, so it was a pick
Yeah.
that they
We
returned.
didn't even mention Carson Beck threw what 3 interceptions on the night. Thank God
Yeah,
for their defense. Honestly, I don't know how many teams will get away with their quarterback throwing 3 interceptions in the game and still
so
win
that Cam Ward is
30-15.
looking. I mean, look at how sorry, we're gonna get to it, but Jaden Daniels compared to like Caleb Williams. Like sometimes when you're not the most touted and you actually just stay underneath the radar and just showcase your talent in the combine and things like that, you actually pan out better because you're not living on hype. You're actually proving yourself every situation. And I think your Beck, this quarterback for Texas,
It
even
was,
Milrose to a certain degree, these guys are like
yeah,
based on
yeah,
all hype or all the name brand cachet of where they play and all of that. So we'll see. I definitely feel Con Ward is going to be the best quarterback out of this draft or this draft class.
yeah. I guess before we call it, shout out Trevor Etienne, brother of Travis, for Jacksonville Jaguars. He scored 3 rushing touchdowns on the night on the way to helping Georgia to their 30-15 win. So yeah, like it wasn't Carson Beck's best game, but thank God for their defense, thank God for their run game, right? Um, we're able to get the win.
Always the quarterback sometimes.
Yeah. Um. So I guess we can move on to big man football now.
Where these guys are hoping to play one day.
Yes, sir. So NFL week 7. Um. Right. So week 7 started Thursday night. Broncos beat the Saints 33-10. Spencer Rattler, may the Lord continue to be with you. The Jags beat the Patriots 32-16 in London. Seahawks beat the Falcons 34-14. Bills, another win for them, 34-10. Interesting fact from that game, Josh Allen is yet to throw a pick so far this season. Yeah, the man is balling. Man is balling. Um,
And losing
Bengals
his
beat.
targets. And the
Sorry.
guy that I said after losing his number one targets, and the guy that they lost it when he went to is
Yeah,
now not playing
yeah,
anything.
yeah. But they added Amari, added Amari Cooper last week, and yeah, interesting touchdown that he scored in the game. Like, so I think there was a like the touchdown that Amari Cooper scored. Basically, the Josh Allen changed the play call, right? And Amari was looking at the rookie receiver beside him, like, "Yo, what am I doing?" And he just tells him, "Go!" Like, and so he just ran a simple go route, killed the defender that was covering him, and scored the touchdown. Like, yeah. Anyway,
Pure talent. Pure talent.
we know say the guy the ball, right? So yeah.
Not everybody knows he played for Bama then.
Not everybody knows he played for who.
Alabama.
Oh
Alabama.
yeah, yeah, yeah. Fair enough, fair enough. Not everyone knows that. Moving on, Texans against Packers. Yes, the
Bro, you
Packers beat
forgot to call
Texans.
out um the Browns. Their quarterback, Deshaun, just tore his tendon.
Yeah.
James Wilson is
It
going to
was
now
it
be there.
was it was a sad day, kinda,
I don't know. It
because
was
I mean, like, bro, the fans were praising the fact that he got injured. Like, somebody literally just ruptured his Achilles on the field, and you guys are cheering. I
the
don't know.
video of that stuff was deadly because it was just full on, like his leg just packed up.
Yeah, I don't know. Cleveland, you guys need to please do better. You can't be
They
laughing at.
start again. They push the reset button. This Cleveland, do you know how many times they pressed the reset for quarterback?
Baba's money is guaranteed, child. They can laugh all they want.
Yeah, they cut him.
Fully,
Child that dead
fully
cap.
guaranteed dollars. Texans Packers. Packers won the game 24-22.
Last
Yeah,
minute field
this is
goal.
like the worst game I've seen CJ Stroud play since he entered the league. I don't know what was going on. Like, yeah, definitely wasn't helped by the fact that his number one wide receiver spent more time fighting than actually like trying to run routes and catch the ball. Yes, so yeah, I mean, at the end of the first half, what um Tank Dell and Tank Dell and Stephon Diggs had a combined total 3 yards receiving. Like, very abysmal. Right. Dolphins suffered yet another loss, losing 10-16 to the Indianapolis Colts. We'll come back to the Lions Vikings. Your boys, give
Yeah,
me
I
the
mean a
one.
big game for Saquon coming back to his former stomping ground. Um,
Bro.
didn't complicate the game too much. Threw it to our sure hands, AJ Brown, when we needed to take the top off, but Saquon was just running through. Even Gainwell had a pretty decent running game.
Yeah.
Um, the Eagles' defense was really the story behind it. I think they had like 6
Are you
sacks.
sure? Are you sure? Are you sure it wasn't 176 yards? from 17 carries, one touchdown, and another 11 yards receiving from Saquon. Are you sure? I mean, I thought Saquon was the guy on the night. Like everything was just
No,
up
no, I
about
mean, I'm not disagreeing with that in terms of Saquon playing, but I think our defense made it impossible for the Giants to be in the game. Like the whole team was done by the third quarter.
you
Like
know
they started
those
playing
guys. Those guys,
second
they are
stringers.
very funny to me because like they still confirm that Daniel Jones is going to continue to be the starter.
I mean, they need to ride with what they've invested in, which is understandable. There was a lot that he had to work through, a lot of drop balls from his wide receivers. And like I explained to you, the defense was crazy. Like you don't have a, what was it in the first half? They had like 6 sacks. 4 to 5, four, no, sorry, not six. That was the total for the game. They had like 4 sacks in the first half. Like Daniel Jones was consistently running, chasing himself out of the pocket. So he's a pocket passer. He's not a Lamar, I'm an escaper and I'm gonna throw it on the run. So that's where the Eagles put him in a situation where he could not be successful, regardless
Yeah,
of their O
it
line.
definitely made the game uncomfortable for me.
So I mean that's what the Eagles need to when the Eagles made the run to the Super Bowl, it was really on the back of their defense being a real pressure house, Hassan Reddick, your Fletcher Cox, um, Graham, and even this yeah, they need that pass rush to be dominant for the Eagles to be successful as a team. I think like you said, Saquon had more rushing yards than Jalen Hurts had passing yards. So I'm not denying that it was a Saquon day, but it was a team day, which is more important for the
I mean,
Eagles.
no turnover today again, right?
Yeah, because you can't, you don't turn the ball
Jalen is
over
Jalen
when
is becoming Jalen
you don't turn the
gradually.
ball over when your defense is doing their job and your running back is helping you create big plays. That's when you just do your simple and the 2 touchdowns that he scored, they were just easy tosses to his number one wide receiver. Go and do your job. So rather than him trying to be Superman, trying to carry the team on his back, everybody's doing their job, and that's allowing him to be better. That's how he became Jalen Hurts.
Yeah.
He, he's not no Lamar. He can run the ball, he can do a lot with the throw, but he's not no Lamar where he's going to be the magic man. And that's, I think, what he's learning a little bit better.
Well, more of that from him. More. We hope to see more of that.
Exactly. Hope to see.
Yeah. So the Rams beat the Raiders 2015. Um, the Commanders beat
Commanders.
the Carolina Panthers 47. Injury scare for Jaden Daniels early on in the game, so Mark Mariota had to play most of the snaps during the game. But I think they've come out to say he'll be fine and no major issues with his ribs. Um,
No, but you gotta give a good shout out to Mariota because like the momentum that they had started with Jaden Daniels, he did not let that drop one bit. Like it, the scoreline definitely tells
shout
that.
out to him, right? But about the Panthers, who I don't, I
No,
don't want
but
any, I don't want anybody
still,
getting their hopes up.
I mean, the Commanders are still showing that they are the team to beat
But I
in
mean, you can only
the
beat who
division,
you're playing, right? You can only beat what's in front of you. So
and
I
they
mean,
flogged them. They didn't just beat them; they flogged them.
yeah, like it was so bad. I think this guy had to come on at some point to take some of the snaps. What's his name? Bryce Young, the guy they benched. Ex
Yeah, next to
number one overall. Ah, yeah. So moving on, the Chiefs beat the 49ers 28-18 in a what some would say was a Super Bowl rematch. But man, the way the 49ers are looking this season, they are now what 3-4 for the season. And
She didn't
yeah,
really want to play this Purdy guy. I don't know.
I
It might
mean,
be. You might try
in
to
his
rethink
in
how
in
much they want
in
to pay
his
him.
in his defense, he was throwing the ball to a lot of names that I don't know, and I'm sure a lot of people don't know, right? They were down to their number 4, 5, and 6 guys in terms of wide receivers because this guy had an illness that he was struggling with and had to leave the game. Like he tried to play but couldn't. Um, Debo, Debo Samuel, and um, Brandon Ayuk went off with something that was suspected to be an ACL injury, right? So, but Ricky Peso, their receiver that they drafted, who just came back from what getting shot just before the season started. We thank God for his life, right? Um, I don't know, and yeah, we all know a lot of their offense was predicated on what their run game last season with
Honestly.
Christian McCaffrey, and he's still out, right? So who was taking the snaps? Jordan Mason and I think his name is Berendo.
This is why
Um,
I'm still talking about, do you pay Purdy? Because if Purdy cannot do anything without all these assets, weapons, that they are very highly costing assets, why do you pay that quarterback?
see. Okay, that will take me to my next point, right? The Chiefs. The Chiefs are what now? The Chiefs are 6-0 this season. They have won every game they've played. And in every game they've played, Mahomes has thrown at least one interception. He threw how
More
many yesterday?
interceptions than touchdowns this season.
I think he threw two yesterday, right? And they still managed to win the game 28-18. Now, a big part of that is on their defense, right? They have one of the best interiors, right? Chris Jones, that guy's
Mhm.
a monster. Everybody knows, right? Spags, their defensive coordinator, Steve Spagnuolo, right? Yes, their defense is on point. Well, they have probably the best corner in the game right now. That what's his name, McDuffie, right? But like Pacheco, the running back, got injured. They went and brought in that Hunt guy. I think his name is Karim Hunt, right?
Hunt. He used to
He's
play for them.
he's doing well for them, right? Like he's doing well. Like um they lose receivers, they try to bring people in. We still expect them to bring in one more receiver before the end of the trade window, right? Like you when like you can't expect like the QB to just yes be who he is when he's throwing to what number 4, 5, 6 on the roster. Like replace the people that you're losing, right?
Yeah, but
And
you highlighted the
the
difference between why
like
they pay Mahomes.
Mahomes will always be
He still
Mahomes, right?
wins. He
Like
still wins. So
yes,
that's
he finds a way to win. And I mean, yes, we can argue that, yeah, like other, like I don't know if you saw that play, right, where he's like throwing pump fakes and just running on the line, like almost like people are scared to actually like hit him. I don't know, like if I was a defensive player in the league, on God, like I will hit him so hard, take the
just why
fight,
the guy
take the
rocked over
ejection, like
that
bro,
cornerback. It's
yes,
not
like
like that. It's not with mouth that you hit players, please.
bro, like
Baba,
see,
stick to your stick to your ball.
you do know that there's a rule. You do know that there's a rule where like if the quarterback is about to like go out of bounds, right, and you hit him, they will call personal foul on you. Like,
Okay.
bro, him acting like he's about to go out of like, bro, he was literally running on the line. Like, you can understand why people were hesitant to hit him, and you know, like when he's throwing those pump fakes, like if anybody can make those throws, Patrick Mahomes can make those throws. Like, I'm not saying there's no talent. I'm not saying like I'm not saying he's not good, but people definitely like go a bit easy on him compared to other guys. Like I've seen the way some people even hit what you call him, Aaron Rodgers. Like there's no Aaron Rodgers respect there. Like they will beat this guy up. Like I don't see Mahomes taking a lot of that. Like yes, fair enough, he protects himself, etc. He's lying too. Like they do their parts, right? But I don't know. I think somebody needs to call his bluff on there and just like bash him.
So yeah,
We'll
man.
see. Season is long. Season is long. Season
Free,
is long.
free safety she.
Bro, honestly, like sometimes I think about it, like where will I be playing if I actually played like American football? And that's
Please
definitely one of the positions. Like I don't
drop
think
in
I
the
can play corner.
comments. Oh, this guy, you definitely cannot play corner. And I mean, I'm not even trying to come at you or anything. You
Like
definitely
I
cannot.
just used my mouth
You're
to say I don't
you,
think I can play corner. Like
you're not
it's not
like
something I think I can do, man. Guy, those guys, those receivers,
free safety. It's free safety. I'm
those
even giving you
receivers
too
be
much.
doing, bro.
Strong safety.
I can definitely play safety.
This
I can
guy is
definitely play.
not beans. Okay, no voila.
I can definitely play it.
Go and play
Come on.
flag football. Go and play flag football. They play that one in a Meadow Hall. Try it one time. Then you can start saying that you play
Anyway,
safety in NFL.
to to wrap up the Chiefs 49ers discussion. Yeah, it was for anybody who did not watch the game. It was what an interception fest. What Brock Purdy threw 3 interceptions, Mahomes threw 2. Um, yeah, Mahomes, as he has done throughout this season and most of his career, he found a way to win. Right, the Chiefs
Bro,
were
long
good.
story short, it was a overhyped game that did not deliver in terms of the
It didn't.
quality.
It didn't. I'm not even going to lie. It
Let's
didn't.
move on to the games that actually delivered. Thank you.
Yeah, yeah. Um, Jets at Steelers. So the Pittsburgh Steelers defeated the New York Jets 37-15. Yimika, let you start.
Like Mike Tomlin said, bro, that's why they pay him the bucks. They pay him the big bucks for the decisions he made. I mean, Russell Wilson is one of the quarterbacks that I've always loved since he came into the league. Um, Fields has shown that he's actually a solid guy. He has potential to be really good, but I think realistically speaking, he would take he will serve him well if he learned a lot of the things that made Russell Wilson good in his career. The touch that Wilson has when it comes to throwing the ball, it's one of the things that Phil just doesn't have in his arsenal, and
Yeah,
it definitely
it's
showed
obvious. It's
today
obvious.
with Pickens. Pickens was just doing whatever he could because when you throw the ball like this, you're throwing the ball in situations that allows the wide receiver to showcase his skills, and you put this cornerback in a vulnerable position where the only thing that he can do is hope and pray or draw a flag. And based on that dominant performance, the Steelers dominated the Jets, and Rodgers got his guy still did not do anything. I mean, this one of the key points I highlighted when we talked about the trade last week. The Jets as an
Mm-hmm.
organization is not a team. The Steelers defense, unreal. Like they're all solid. They come, they play together, they play hard. They're probably less talented than the Jets team defensively wise. Like if you do one-on-one comparison with their
Yeah,
lineup.
there's so much hype about the Jets defense, and like, bro, you
But
people just be
again, it's not
drinking points up and down.
it's not
Like
even
they are
about
good
hype,
players, but
their quality, but they just don't play together as a team. And I've
yeah,
said it all stems from that quarterback who did not buy into the process and who did not um sacrifice for the team. So now nobody's willing to sacrifice for anybody. Everybody's just rooting for themselves. But yeah, it was a good debut for Wilson. We'll see how the quarterback battle goes on through the year because, like I said, Fields has had a pretty good start, and Wilson does have his low slump. So I hope he can continue this strong performance and see where the Steelers
yeah,
go.
yeah. I mean, everyone can see Russell Wilson in the graphic. Most of the talk was about him, right, for Pittsburgh. Like, Fields had been doing pretty good, not great, but pretty good, right? The Steelers were 4-2 before the game, and everybody was wondering why would you just like drop him and let Russell Wilson play. Um, Russell Wilson had not played since Christmas Eve 2023, so yeah, lots of rust to shake off initially, and like it kind of showed. Cause and yeah, it did help too that the Jets on their first drive just drove up the field and scored a touchdown. Fans were booing Wilson till just one big explosive throw, right? And yeah, they started to like build momentum from there. But yeah, the Jets led 15-6 in the second quarter and did not score again till the end of the game. Like the Steelers scored 31 points unreplied. And this was after adding Devante Adams, getting Robert Salah fired. The defensive coordinator is the interim head coach now. The demoted the offensive coordinator. What's his name? Nathaniel Hackett, right? There's someone else calling plays now on offense. Like,
In essence, Aaron Rodgers
where is
out
Aaron
of
Rodgers going to hide now? Like, where
God
is he going to hide
wanted
now? Like,
and still
he
played
threw
a
he
stick
threw
up
what
again.
I think he threw two picks yesterday. He threw two picks yesterday. Yes. Like, I
A
mean,
lot of times they went on fourth down, like just overly aggressive with no type of momentum, put themselves in a hold where they had to continue to be super aggressive. Again, this is just down to no team spirit, no team cohesion. It really has nothing to do with individuals, but I do blame Aaron Rodgers 100% because he's the one that has steered this team to where they are, and
for
they're
sure.
definitely not going to any
I agree.
barely
I agree.
might barely make the playoffs, but we'll
I
see.
agree. I mean, it's not impossible, but how many games left for them? Um, what 10 games? They can go 7-3 from now and maybe make the playoffs. Never know. Well, they are 2-5 now, so can make the playoffs. What 9-8 in their division? Maybe,
Yeah, hot movie.
maybe. But yeah, let's just move on, right? We wish them all the best. Happy for Russell Wilson. We hope Justin Fields can pick up one or two while he's still playing behind the clearly deserved QB1 in Russell Wilson. Yeah, the main game of the day really for us. The Lions defeat the Minnesota Vikings 31-29. Um, Yimika, please start us off.
Yeah, I mean, again, another competitive game. Um, a lot of back and forth, good high scoring, good quarterback play across board, but again, strong defense. I think that's one of the things that I'm trying to highlight here, like the true championship contenders, like they really rely on a good defense. Not to circle back to the Eagles, which is why I'm saying like the defense looking good is what is getting me excited, not running backs or quarterbacks, throwing a lot of touchdowns or scoring a lot of touchdowns. Um, the Lions, again, last minute field goal. Um, the Vikings actually scored first late in the fourth quarter. I think they went for 2 point conversion, but they missed it to
Yeah, they
ensure
missed
that they
that.
they wouldn't lose the game based on a field goal to send the game to overtime if possible, but they missed that conversion. And then the Lions marched down the road. Quarterback, I think it was a golf to Amar St. Brown, right?
Yeah,
That was yeah, St. Brown showing himself why he's one of the top wide receivers, always coming up with clutch plays. I think that's him getting hits, right?
nah,
Let's
that's
see.
Montgomery.
Okay. But yeah, always taking the big hits, just ensuring that he can make the big plays. And Jared Goff himself played really well. Like there were many times where it looked like they were about to sack him and put him on the ground, but he showed that he's really progressed as a quarterback. And, dare me say, even though the Rams got a Super Bowl from the trade, it seems like the Lions have gotten the better quarterback in the trade between Jared Goff and
Matthew
um,
Stafford.
yeah, Stafford. And it's kind of weird. Like this Jared Goff got drafted the same season where the Eagles drafted the second overall Carson Wentz. And I remember I was in uni and I
Oh
always
God.
remember telling my friends that, bro, like Jared Goff, I watched him in Cal State. Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
Cal State. Um, just a pure passer, someone who is always comfortable in the pockets, knowing how to step up and get rid of the ball on time. I really think his career has been one of the most underrated, and I hope I know the Lions are a pick for the NFC, and I hope that he gets to the Super Bowl because he's definitely some player that has worked hard in his craft and progressively gotten better.
Are you acknowledging my pick for the Super Bowl? Are you
No,
acknowledging it?
again, I have to sort of stay loyal to my team until there's no hope. But I'm still saying
So
that it will be good to
Lions
see
for me,
him
man,
there.
from the NFC.
It will be it will be good
Yeah,
to
for
see
sure,
him in there.
for sure, for sure.
And again, the defense from the Lions, like their top pass rusher, he's hurt, and they're still creating turnovers, picks, interceptions. So that's kind of football I like to see, where there's
Yo,
action
that
and
that branch guy, bro. That branch guy, like he had a game. I think it's
was it like two
branch.
interceptions or what?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, it was a good game altogether. I don't know. Anything else you want to add?
Uh I mean, for me, you said most of it. Yeah, Jared Goff, like some would argue he's the best in the league right now. Like people will bring out different stats, like that will show you, yeah, this guy might be the best. I think he has what more touchdowns than interceptions or something like that. I don't know. But yes, um, I guess something most people might have missed is the fact that um, yes, the Vikings lost, but I didn't think they played badly, and a big part of a big part of the Lions' offense is their um, two-headed monster, their run game, Jamil Gibbs and Montgomery, right? Lions ran the ball 27 times for 144 yards, right? If you take out the 45-yard touchdown by Gibbs, right, it means the Lions ran what 99 yards for 26 carries, right? Like I thought the Vikings did a very good job limiting the run offense for the Lions, but Goff being Goff, right? But completed 22 out of 25 passes for 280 yards. Like they had no answer for the Lions passing game. Like so that's why for me, as I said, my pick to come out of the NFC to the Super Bowl is the Detroit Lions, and I continue to stand by it. Um, yeah, that's. Yeah, I think that's it for me. Really, I don't think there's too much to add. You said most of it.
Solid, solid, solid. So yeah, we've come to another end of the episode. Um,
Yeah,
like we always say, throw your flags where you disagree, agree with what we points that we made. Um, Center back ranking is up there. Let us know what you think. Who did we miss out? Who did we overinflate? You shall know that Arsenal's two center back have to be there. I just can't say that one pass. Like is yeah. Thank you again. Have a good week.
yeah. Thanks, guys. Don't forget, drop your comments on Yimika's power rankings. Like, please, that was very important to me. Like, you guys let him off the last time. Please, we need bash him very well, please. We need your comments. And yeah, just like continue to share with anyone that you know will be interested, and yeah, subscribe and keep watching. We'll continue to bring content to you every week. Thank you. Have a good week.